It's me, Nicole Hartley Bradford, the beneficiary of this Patreon channel with some updates about where I'm at right now, how it's going. Mm, I feel glad because I am on the west coast of Canada, specifically in Davis Bay, BC, on the Sunshine Coast, which is just north of Vancouver on the mainland. And I'm living in the home of my mother, Carol Hartley, who invited me to live with her and be alongside her in what I'm thinking of as her golden years. She's 82. I'm committed to being here on the Sunshine Coast until after she dies. And this has been, it has been beautiful. I don't expect she will die anytime soon. And I also live with this kind of fear rising and then falling when I handle my life using this fear of not creating intimacy in our relational space while she is still alive. There are many fears that I am using to create an extraordinary space with my mother. Alongside that, I am also creating a Rage Club game world here on the Sunshine Coast. And it's part of a bigger game world, Rage Club game world in Western Canada. And that is also nested in a North America Rage Club world and a global Rage Club. And also Space Holders, Rage Club Space Holders uh, game world where as space holders for Rage Club, we are collaborating about how we're building our Rage Club game worlds and how we're bringing new space holders in, so that this is such a regenerative and alive space where we're so committed to more Rage Clubs existing all over the world and more conscious feelings dojos where all the feelings are specifically worked with as distinct from Rage Club, which focuses on using anger consciously and responsibly and shifting off this old map of anger where people are scared of anger because it's been used unconsciously and irresponsibly for, I don't know, fill in the blank with whatever number of time you choose. I choose so far forever. So that's Rage Club. I'm also building a bridge house on the Sunshine Coast because I want to live with other possibilitators as I live alongside my mother in her golden years. And so I want this to exist. And the first experiment that will happen is a 3-month tent city bridge house from the 1st of April till the 30th of June on land here on the Sunshine Coast. I don't yet know where. As of this recording, keep posted. I may announce where it is soon. And there's even more happening, believe it or not. I've also woven in with my mother's church, which is called St. Hilda's by the Sea. And it is an extraordinary little community of huge hearted, super smart, brilliant human beings. And I've joined the Green Parish Action Group, which are those in this parish who are committed to stewarding creation in more radically responsible ways. And it's an honor to be part of this wonderful team. I'm also weaving with the local farmers market, a dear friend of mine, Maria Hunter, whom I met when we were both in our 20s, our early 20s, perhaps even. Yes. Mm, we were both giving birth to children, and we were both asking for the local lay midwives to come and attend us in birth. At the time, catching a baby if you weren't a doctor was a crime. And these bold, wonderful Gaian women were making themselves available to birthing mothers in this particular place, which I'm getting goosebumps as I say this, is so full of what I would call edge workers and has been for a long, long time. It has a rich history, her story, a rich past full of bold acts of pioneering into a culture very radically different from modern colonial capitalist profit-based culture and more a Gaian culture, an Arcan culture, where men and women who have jacked into their archetypal lineages are at work in the world, bringing the work of the archetypal forces into the world, including in churches, including in permaculture projects and farmers markets. And I want to mention one more game world that is seated here, which is a women's circle. And it started, the, the origin legend is remarkable. I won't go into that whole thing here, but I'm working so far with two other women. We're meeting every Saturday to really to connect ourselves with each other. We've started with sharing our life stories with each other, and then we will shift more and more into creating a creation circle for women that is about physical creations that you can hold in your hands and then offer to the world as gifts. These handmade gifts, they're just so cool. And then building the creativity to include, in addition to the physical realm and the mental realm, the realm of feelings and the heart, and the realm of the energetic bodies, and then it's the realm of the archetypal again, which is just so fun for me. And I continue to uh, I continue to report badly, well, infrequently, into the Patreon space about what I'm happening. I also report into many other spaces, so I will start to give those spaces as options. My The necessity for the money that was coming through Patreon is decreasing, because more and more well, the clarity I have is I work for Gaia. I work for the morphogenetic field of planet Earth, Mother Earth. And she arranges through the Earth's Coincidence Control Office for money to come my way, for the basic necessities of life to come my way. And I'm not saying I'm making a lot of money, I'm not, but the 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 gifts of spaces to live, food, transportation, and and the basics of the tools I need to live my life, which are a very simple set of tools, are being covered more and more by the money that flows in as I deliver Rage Club, Fear Club, as I deliver Dismantling Resentment spaces. This is the next series that I have on offer as a paid offer. Also, yeah, keeping going with especially Rage Club, because this is so great as a first space that then seeds so many other spaces, a little bit like how forest fires kind of push so many different plants into seeding, and then the movement of animals and rain and water, it all has this regenerative effect, whereas it is often feared. Fire is so often feared because of the devastating effects of things like forest fires. So there are many parallels that I could follow, many threads that are metaphoric in this work, that are, I don't know, in a way, Gaia's way of showing us how we can use anger, sadness, fear, and joy as, archetypal elements for creation, for regenerative creation. So if you want to stay here on Patreon and continue to send money my way, I love it. I'm honored every month when that money lands. It's like, oh, yes. Thank you. And if you want to also weave in other ways, to perhaps by joining an introduction to Fear Club, I think the sliding scale for that is something like 10 to $30, and it would be an hour and a half or 2 hours uh, learning and practicing using anger consciously. And I promise you, the territory is more mind blowing and huger and heart blowing and love creating than you can possibly imagine before you've ever gone to a space like that. Before I went to my first Rage Club, I was like, oh, I know all about that. And I did not. And now I go back over and over and over because there's still more. There's more practicing to do. The experience never, Eric's experiments never get old. I always learn more. And so that might be a great first space to come into. Oh, yeah. And also, my patrons, you get free entry to my work talks, which include introduction spaces. So essentially, that means that the introduction spaces that I will be having weekly in March about using Rage consciously, they're all already paid for. So I hope you will join. I will write a post that says all this as soon as possible. And that is all for now. Reach out anytime, please. I would love to hear from you. I would love your questions. I would love your challenges. I if you are like concerned about anything you hear about me, about what I'm up to, please let me know, because I either want to dispel inaccurate information, quench rumors, or yeah, just find create intimacy with you, to become known in our relational space, one to another. Goodbye for now.